Here we are then, back for some more F1 My Team on F1 23. After a couple of days away taking care of some other content, we are back for more action. Now this one is the Canadian Grand Prix, guys. The previous race at Spain, linked in the top right. Go check it out, go watch it. Spoilers are ahead, so go see what happened in that one. Today we're going to start off by jumping into a chassis department event, which we had to replace, the equipment. Now there was a safe solution and a cheap solution. The cheap one was a pretty big hit on the R&D points, so I chose to actually go for the safe one because the financial hit was pretty small compared to the one on the R&D. So we'll take care of that. We also took care of activities, focusing on team building and also just improving Lawson a little bit in a few different areas on pace and focus. Now with that done, we moved to upgrades, and out of all the chassis ones, I'm actually going to do the tyre blankets because I need to get rid of this so that I get discounts on the other productive, actual, effective upgrades. So we'll get that on the car. That will improve tyre wear, which is a good thing because we do struggle with that a little bit. We also had the ERS stators arrive. Also the first big upgrade for the ERS, that is. So that's a big moment. Now the forecast, again, was broken. So based off this screen, we seem to have mixed conditions for qualifying and the race, but it doesn't tell us exactly what we're going to have. We are bottom of the performance chart. We like I said, only brought a minor upgrade for the ERS. That's all we have on the car, so there's not much we can do with that. And if we look at the upgrades we have on the way right now, there's 3 that are in process, and hopefully that will give us a bit of a boost and move us up a little bit in amongst that kind of bottom end of the midfield. So practice done and dusted. We had very good tyre wear and also very good fuel consumption, to be fair. Both things looking pretty good, really good actually, compared to other races. So with that done, the car felt good. We went P18, Lawson P22. It seems like Liam is a long way off the pace around here, which is not exactly ideal. Now, after practice, we did use a very used engine, so we're going to go ahead and change components. Now, in the meantime, guys, if you're watching up to this point, let me know, should I sign Jarno Otmir as my teammate in the next window and replace Liam Lawson? Let me know your thoughts on that. Anyway, we're going to change the components and move on to Spec 3 on some of them. Also, practice-wise, you can see we bring in our usual R&D points total. And we also get some discounts going on to some other productive upgrades in other areas which we need to improve, especially the chassis one, which is going to be the one I'm looking out for the most. So, yeah, practice done, updates done. It's now time for qualifying. So let's get into it. And as you can see, we have a hell of a lot of rain. So that weather prediction at the start, which we didn't get, key information. Turns out we're going to get a bucket load of rain to start off qualifying 1, so that's going to be pretty damn interesting. So let's get into it and let's get on track. First things first, a weather report, which is going to be important here.
The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Full wet seemed like the best tyre for now.
So because of the rain, I chose to stick with my original setup I ran in practice, which again I've got from SRC Sim Racing Centre, linked down below. But I was going to originally lower the wing because I was a bit down on the straights, but because of this rain that we might get in qualifying and maybe the race, I'm actually going to keep the wings the same. Now, my first lap was a bit of a shambles. Turn 1 wasn't great. We also struggled with the first chicane, had a moment on the exit, and then the second chicane, turn I believe 6 and 7, we just got it completely wrong. So, not ideal. Still, it's not the worst thing in the world. The hairpin was even worse. I just, outbroke myself massively. This is all to kind of get a feel of the conditions and see where the limit is. And we'll go for, like always, a second consecutive push lap, which is going to be much better in terms of reading how the car feels and where the limits are. So lap 1 in the bank, and that was still P4 with that horrible lap of mistakes, which I was really surprised by. So we are going to crack on and keep pushing, and you can see just by simply cleaning up those mistakes, we found 1.2 seconds, and we are purple in the first 2 sectors. Making our way up to the line, following Oscar Piastri across the line, who is going to go P1 for now. We're going to smash that though and go 7/10 quicker than him, and we're going to comfortably move to the top. So, job done. However, the conditions improved. The track dried up, and we are into inters, and everyone is going to get 1 flying lap on these intermediates in qualifying at the end. So all we have to do is keep it on the top left, because we may even just get through with that, lap time. To note, some cars have said in the pits, one of them is one of the Red Bulls, which is interesting, so we'll keep an eye on that. Either way, we are the last car to start a lap, so if we're safe, we can abandon and save tyres and not commit. For now though, bit of a moment out of the 3-4 chicane, or 4-5 chicane, sorry. And you can see we go purple in sector 1 as Ricciardo sets the benchmark, and we are 6/10 quicker than him in the first sector alone. Piastri now moving the goalpost, and you're going to see a lot of that, pretty much every second. We are up by already over a second. Here's the checkered flag, drops, making our way through the end of sector 2. Currently P6, Lawson has gone behind us, which is a bit of a red flag in terms of his pace. Down to the hairpin, we of course had that horrible lock up on our first lap. Here we keep it more or less under control, bit of a rear lock just to kind of get the car drifted into the apex and get the car into the corner. And we're up by 2 seconds. Right now P14, so it looks like it's going to be close. Now P16, so we do have to commit because we're now P17, we need this lap. So just keep it nice and tidy into the chicane. But we lock up on the entry and it's gone. And we're out. P18. Just like that. One simple error. And not just that. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc chose to not go back out on inters. And they also got knocked out. Perez just made it in. So a very shocking Q1 session. A big few surprises here. And also home favourite Lance Stroll out in last place. Boy, that was a really rookie mistake. Just a simple lock-up. I must have clipped the grass or something just on entry into the final chicane. I did outbrake myself a little bit, which wasn't ideal. I tried to pull it back, but yeah, I lost the back end a bit. I had a bit of rear locking and had a bit of an issue. So what a terrible mistake. The person in the comments that always says I bottle qualifying, that was a qualifying bottle, not making a mistake in Q3. So yeah, we're going to have to work for it, guys. P18, and that's going to be our starting place for the race. So we have a massive hill to climb, guys. So let's get into it.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Norris, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Ocon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Bottas, Joe, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Sargent, Martinez, Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, Verstappen, Leclerc, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Joining me on this very wet day is a woman who very much came prepared. Nice wellies there, Nats. Natalie Pinkham, how would you say the wet weather experience differs between Formula One and perhaps some other forms of racing?
Mastering these conditions is a massive challenge. To cross the line in one piece is no mean feat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle it.
So we have a pretty interesting race on our hands here today. So it looked dry on the forecast, but it's actually raining. You can see it's a dry race and we have a little bit of rain at the end. So a weird race, some very strange conditions on the weather forecast front, so which might provide a bit of excitement and also an open race with possibilities to hopefully have a decent one overall. So for this one, I'm planning to still have maybe a top 6 finish. I think that's possible. We've got really good pace here. The car is working well. This is one of my stronger tracks anyway, so I want to make the most of it. And albeit we messed up qualifying, we've still got a chance to have a good race here today. So in principle, we're going to be on dryers very quickly. So the timing of the pit stop will be key, and also choosing the right tyre. I think looking at the forecast, I'm probably going intermediate, medium, inter, possibly medium to the end. We'll see how the forecast kind of pans out and if the rain arrives earlier. With one single icon, usually the rain doesn't arrive in time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Either way, fuel-wise, I've not taken a big risk, 0.3 over. That should be fine, especially with a bit of rain here and there. So, yeah, let's get into it. We have to take advantage of these conditions, guys. These are our strongest weather conditions, and we are very fast here. So, I'm fully intending to get a strong start and hopefully send it and have a strong first lap. So, let's just get a quick weather check and see exactly what we're looking at.
So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain. Okay, not sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover.
Okay, so that's a little bit longer than what the forecast said. So we'll be on these highs for a little while, which is great. I'm a little bit high on the wing front, so I welcome this. Perfect. Right, here we go. Let's do this. Lights are on. Let's have a good one. Long 5 lights. We're underway. A little bit too much revs, but we get a good second phase. Have to wait a little bit there so we get blocked in. Gonna have a look up the inside here, 3 wide. Gonna try and get on the outside here where there's a bit of space to drive into. What a start this has been so far. And it's not over yet. Into the chicane we go. We're gonna pick up Ricardo. We might be able to get Bottas here. Not quite close enough, but we can keep the pressure on. Exactly though what we had to do. Get a good start. Make the most of these conditions. Here we go. Trying to go past Bottas. You can see the wing is a bit high. Bottas defends. We'll set up the cut back here to get the run down to the hairpin, although we have a bit of a moment. Still, we're going to be close enough here for the run. Just got to be careful with the brakes to not T-bone someone in front. Both Alpines there, as you can see, just in front. But we clear Bottas and get P11 locked up. Is there anything else on the table for us on this lap? Let's find out. Can we break into the top 10? Going to force Ocon defensive here, which is very good. Going to brake early. Set up the cut back. Here we go. Going through. That was a brilliant first lap though. World class. Gets us straight back in the race. And I think we're going to have some good pace in these conditions. So we have to take advantage. Gasly ahead, then Piastri, then Albon. So easy places for us to hopefully pick up if we have pace in these conditions. So let's find out. A little bit deep there. Almost ran into the back of Pierre. But this is going to give us a really strong exit. And I'm just going to sneak alongside. And now we're going to get into a drag race. We're going to keep the battery on. I'm actually going to try and stay ahead of Pierre here into the chicane. Slight contact on the way through, but we get the move done. Credit to Pierre braking actually pretty damn late, but we get through.
Okay, be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage. Tyre condition still looking good.
Okay, so there was some slight contact on the way through. Very slight. We'll see how it feels. We'll get a wing change in the pit stop, but let's see if we can drive this wing damage. Hopefully, it should be fine. It's very, very minor. You can see it's yellow. Doesn't feel too bad right now, and we're pretty decent in these conditions, so I should be able to hold my own. So now the target kind of changes, and we're going to go into not survival mode, but if I can stick with Albon and P7, that's fine until we get to the dry phase. Who needs an entire front wing? We are absolutely cooking right now. Personal best on the last lap, and we are now going to put Piastri under some big pressure here. It's just the fact it's such a rear limited circuit. It's not really front dependent, so if you're good on traction and on the back end of the car, you're going to be strong. We might be able to go 2 for 1 here if we can nail the chicane. Might be a little bit harder. This is a bit more front end dependent, as you have to get the turn in, but then you have to get the drive, which wasn't too bad, but it wasn't quite close enough initially. We are cooking though. This is looking very good. We'll lose a little bit of time in a few places in the pit stop with the wing change, so it's important now to try and keep this going and build up a gap to the cars behind. Look at this, challenging Albon here. As the spray significantly reduces, we force Albon a little bit defensive into the chicane.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer.
Up the inside we go. Make that P7 with a broken wing, baby. We are flying in these conditions. Let's break a gap now. Let's try and pull away from these cars behind and build a safety net for the wing change.
Okay, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy after that. I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFT.
Oh wow, already.
Copy.
That happened quick. Oh, even the game's saying medium, so that's what we'll do. A little bit hot on the brakes there, but we'll convert it into a bit of a drift and get a good exit, which will help us build a gap to Albon, to be fair. We'll now drain the battery to put away as much as possible. We might lose, I think, position to Albon and Piastri again, but we should be okay after that. Here we go. Some cars staying out. Perfect pit entry, right on the money. So Russell is the only one staying out, which is interesting. Right. We probably won't get held as we have the last pit box, which is going to be an advantage. We may still keep position over some cars.
Liam's coming in for his stop now.
Come on, boys, got to be quick. 7 mid. 7.7, happy with that. And there you go. So you can see Piastri and Ocon have gone through, so we've lost a little bit.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
But there we go. We've taken the hit. So back underway then. A couple of cars have stayed out, so we'll gain some places back and be back in the points in no time. So already flying on these tyres, on for a personal best on the outlap. Obviously the pit exit helps, but it says a lot about how much quicker now the track has gone with dry tyres. Everyone now in the pits. Hoping to get within DRS of Piastri and Ocon here. As we go purple. Racing a pit exit, and looks like we're P10. So still in the points with a wing change. So happy with that. Albon just up the road there through the chicane, so we haven't lost too much in the grand scheme of things here. I think we've got some really good pace, you know. We could actually, I ain't going to say win this race, but maybe we could challenge for a podium. We are a bit far back, which isn't ideal starting P17, but we've got some really good pace. Let's see if I can maybe go for the double here. We're really good in the hairpin. We're going to get right close to Piastri here. And he's going to force a move on Ocon, which will be interesting. There we go. Piastri goes through. Ocon has to yield. Ocon no DRS, so we'll clear him. And we'll try and get Oscar on the next lap. So let's try and get this one done, then get onto Albon, who isn't that quick. So P7's right there. We can go back to where we were. So Piastri doesn't quite have DRS on Albon, I don't think. I reckon he was just outside of a second at the detection point. So we'll look to pass. And there we go, Piastri does not have DRS. So we will try to clear him now on the outside into the chicane. Brake nice and late. Cut over the curb beautifully there. And now we can get onto Albon and hopefully then try to break away. Car feels excellent, by the way. We have genuine pace. We are in this race. We can go for a podium today. Apologies for the noise. Not much I can do about that. Anyway, we're going to try and force Albon defensive here, and we'll go for the move on the pit straight. I was waiting to see if that noise would go quiet before the back straight, but clearly not, so we're going to have to roll with it. There we go. Forcing Albon offline. We're now going to go to the outside and just try and outbrake him here. Around the outside we go. Beautiful textbook move. Let's try and get onto that pack of cars ahead. I think the undercut is going to be key. Our pace is very strong and we can undercut all of these cars. First warning. Gotta be careful. Nearly there though. Almost caught up to the train. 1 or 2 more laps and we'll be in the mix for a podium. Norris putting a move on Sainz here. Just trying to save some battery. I might pick this up, to be fair. Next lap is my scheduled pit stop lap. Norris Sainz going at it still. Yet again into the hairpin. Trying to save battery and charge as much as I can before we pit, which is going to be now.
No concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Yep, also no word on the rain yet.
No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Right, into the pits. Sainz has the same idea, so undercut for Sainz, undercut for me. And he's going to go to the hards, we're going to go to the medium, so we're going to have a tyre advantage. I'm hoping to rejoin ahead of that Haas on the mini-map into the final chicane now. 2.5, good stop. We get held unnecessarily long there, but we could still come out ahead of this Haas here of Hulkenberg. It's going to be close.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound.
Here we go. Cold tyres and some marbles for good measure, and we're going to be just behind, but we're going to have to grip, even on cold rubber, to just go straight through. But we have to push. This is now an undercut attempt on the podium runners, so we have to go. There we go, everyone's in. Russell stays out for one more, using all the battery. Tyres are now nice and warm. Fuel's not an issue. Got to yeet it through the chicane. That's perfect. And we'll have DRS on signs now, next time around. Cars at pit exit. Okay, so it looks like we have jumped Alonso, we've jumped Norris behind. So some cars have also stayed in front. So Hamilton, who I believe was net P2, is just ahead of us. Let's see if I can try and go for it here. Up the inside of signs. But we're going to get DRS as we cross the detection point behind him. So that's perfect racing. Hamilton carving its way through the pack ahead of us. More cars should be pitting. Russell is in, Piastri's in. So I think now we are net P3 with all the stops having taken place. Let's confirm it. There we go. P3. Could we win this race? Hamilton on hards, Verstappen, no, Perez on mediums. So Verstappen's behind us. Let's see. Two warnings. Be careful now. The rest of this race. Trying to push, but we're in DRS now, so we can rest a little bit and reset. Take it easy. We're there now. We can possibly win this. We'll see how the tyres hold up, but we can win this race. DRS on Hamilton. I'm not planning to overtake. I'm just trying to save some battery before we go on the charge after Perez, so I'm just going to sit here for a lap or two more and just try to get that battery over 60%. Lewis has just started to pick up the pace a little bit and catch Perez. I'm going to see now if I can try and get the move here. I feel like I'm ready to go. And also that hard tyre starting to work, so trying to force him defensive. Lewis though doesn't bite the bait. And whoa, that's a moment.
Yellow flag.
Oh my god, that was a close one.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking.
It's Checo.
Flags.
Oh my days. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, this race win now is completely on. Oh my god, I've done it again.
I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate.
I've been doing it in league racing so much in the last couple of races. I was so good at not doing this, and lately I've had a terrible run of getting time penalties. Oh, okay, right, well, we're going to have to refocus. We're going to have to try and pass and gap Hamilton now, so let's see what we can do. Right, let's see if we can get this move. This is just going to be a test now to see if the tyres are still up to scratch. I feel like we've been on these for a little while now, so we've got a fair bit of wear. But here we go, we can't waste any time. We're going to go through and take P1 for now. Can we hold on? It's not going to be easy. We're going to have to drive the wheels off this thing and hope for the best. So let's use up all the battery. Let's try and break Hamilton out of DRS first and foremost. That's going to be critical. And Lewis is now probably on the better tyre at this stage. So we have to nail this first sector. Really good first three corners. Backhand slipping away. Lewis is just going to hold on to DRS, but we might break him through the chicane. Okay, we've got the gap, but now he's going to have DRS. Just got to keep the pressure up. I'm not particularly great for this one, to be fair. Yep, Lewis is going to hold on and get DRS in the back straight, but we'll probably break the 1 second gap now on the back straight into the hairpin here. This is where we're so strong. There we go. Right, let's see what we can do. Lewis will have DRS now, but we've got a bit of a gap. Just got to keep pushing, but we're out of battery. Well, we're halfway there. But I know Lewis is going to be quicker on the last lap when he drains the battery. So he'll claw some back, so we need more than 3 seconds onto the last lap. 2 seconds now. We're getting there, slowly but surely. We're getting there. Another warning. I mean, I don't think we'll get another pen, but you have to be careful. There are some double warnings in this game in certain corners. I'm trying to push to get the gap to Lewis. Oh my god. Me pushing now is giving me problems. This is going to be so close. We'll probably break the 3 second onto the pit straight, but then we've got to try and hold it for the last lap.
Okay, information on Verstappen. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
Wow, what a race for Red Bull. Trying to push here, but I think Lewis is going to do enough to hold on. He's quicker than me now in this lap, using all the batteries he's got. I've got nothing left in the tank for the back straight here, so I think we're going to just fall short.
Caution, caution.
Do we go all in at the final chicane and send it? I think
Someone's
we have to.
ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
No, there's just no grip. Tyres are sliding. We're not going to get it.
Yes, yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive. Thank you.
A truly magnificent drive and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I want to know if that was as easy as it looked. An absolute masterclass today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Well, my mistake, but you know what? P17 to P2, P1 on track. What a performance. And the fastest lap point does go to us, so the pace was there. The big mistake was, you know, the qualifying session. That was... we could have won that very comfortably, and that would have been possibly our biggest or best chance at a race win this season. Either way, GG's to Lewis. Well done, mate, for the win. We get another podium, so very happy, still keeping that 50% podium rate. So I think in 8 races so far, 4 podiums, and one of them was a race win, of course, in Monaco, I believe. So that could have been our second win of the season. Either way, there is your top 3. Alonso P4 for Aston Martin, big result for them. And then both McLarens in the points as well. And then Albon also in there for Williams, and both Alpines also in the top 10. The big ones for this one was the Red Bull. Both of them DNFing, and also Leclerc down in P17. Not sure what happened to Charles, but a miserable race for him. Standings wise, we are P4 and only 6 points behind Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. Had we won that, we'd be P2 in the championship, which is mental. I can't believe I'm saying those words, but this season has been a fairy tale so far. In the constructors, P5, and we keep a very healthy gap over Aston Martin and Alpine, and we are cooking right now, and we are literally at the halfway stage right now. 8 races remain, and we are on course for a top 5 in the constructors, which is insane. And also now every single team has scored points this season, so yeah, what a season, guys, so far. Like the video though if you enjoyed, and let's try and smash over 1,000 likes for that podium finish and that race win on track. Subscribe for more. Very close now to 100k, guys. If you want to help me get there, if you're new, please subscribe. It really does help me out. And yeah, as always, a big shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah, guys, we go again in the next one. Cheers for watching, and that's goodbye from me.